So the brain is going to be like, comfortably located inside this brain box called as the cranium. Okay, but then once again, guys, there is going to be some other level of protection which is going to be provided. And what is that? That is with the help of your meninges. Yes, meninges is plural, menings is singular. And what did we say? There are going to be three meninges out over there. Okay, so starting from the top to the inner side. Okay, so what are we going to have? The dura mater, the arachnoid membrane, and the pia mater. Okay, dura mater, this is the outermost. It is the one which is going to be in conjunction with the cranium. Just a moment. Something happened. Somebody messaged something. 1 minute. No. Okay. So then okay, so then after that what happens is, like, we have the dura mater. It is going to be the outermost. This is going to be the toughest. It is going to be protective in nature. But then after that we are going to have the next one. The next one is going to be your arachnoid membrane. Now what did we say, guys? Arachnoid membrane, this is going to be more of the cushiony side. It is going to be your spider web like cushion, plus it is going to have a little bit of vasculation, so meaning it has a little bit of your blood vessels inside of it. Okay, so for nourishment, that's it. So that is this second region. And the third one, guys, after this, it is going to be your pia mater. The pia mater is the one which is going to be hugging the brain. Guys, this is going to be highly vascular, and because of which it is going to supply all the nourishment to the parts of the brain. Okay, so that is how we said that the three things are. But now, once again, a very important thing. Okay, so very important thing is that, guys, in between the dura mater and the arachnoid membrane, the space that is present, what is that space? That space is called as the subdural space. Okay, now inside this subdural space also, guys, we are going to see a fluid. Now why do we require a fluid? Because we need to prevent friction between the two layers of the meninges, right? Now what is that fluid called? That fluid is called as your serous fluid. Okay, fine. Then just like how we have this space, okay, same way below the arachnoid membrane, there is also going to be a space. What is that region called now? That region is called as your subarachnoid space. And guys, what have we seen? That in this subarachnoid space, guys, that is where we are going to see the CSF, cerebrospinal fluid. Okay, so that is where the outer covering is going to end. Then once again, I showed it to out over here, like how it is going to look like and all. Okay, and finally, guys, we talked about what is the CSF, how is it going to be produced, where is it going to be present, and finally, what are the functions of it. Okay, so always keep it in mind that this is going to be nutritive. It is going to be like, it is going to have be laden with your food and all. So basically, it is going to provide nourishment. Okay, so that is the basic job. Okay, rest others is the, it's in conjunction with what the first thing. Okay, any doubts in this thing, guys? Any doubts until this part? Anybody? Okay, chalo. So now let's try to move ahead, guys. Okay, let's try to move ahead. And now, as I told you guys, the next part is going to be very, very important. And you have to be there with me in this thing, guys. Okay, so now we're going to start talking about the structure of the brain. Okay, so how is the brain? So first, we will start talking about the basic things about the brain. Sorry. And then slowly, we will go into the details of it. Okay, so let's try to start with some basic parts. Okay, chalo. So let's try to see the structure of the brain. Okay, now guys, see, I told you the brain, it is going to be divided into three major parts. Okay, so how is it? Let's figure this thing out. So we said, okay, so first one, we have the largest part, okay, which is going to be nothing but it is your cerebrum. Okay, so this is your cerebrum. Below that, we are going to have a small part which is going to be hanging like this. So that is going to be your cerebellum. And then we have this inverted, inverted triangle kind of thing, triangle kind of thing, that is going to be your medulla oblongata. Just a moment, somebody is unmute, I guess. Yeah. Okay, sure. Anyways, okay, and then we have this is your medulla oblongata, and then it is going to give rise to your spinal cord. Now, guys, now when we talk about the brain, guys, you need to remember that the brain is divided into four different parts, depending upon the different positions. Okay, fine. So let's try to see. So guys, now actually how it is, the part which is going to be present on the front side, okay, of the brain, this is called as the frontal lobe. Okay, let's try to understand this thing. And how are we going to do it, guys? We are going to do it with the help of certain grooves out over here. Okay, so what we will see is there are actually three very important grooves present. So the first groove, okay, groove means it is a sulcus. Okay. Okay. Groove means it is a sulcus. Okay, sulcus meaning it is a depression kind of a thing. It's the marking, the line kind of thing. The second one is going to be out over here, like this. And the third one is going to be somewhere out over here, like this. And because of these three sulci, okay, you are going to see that the brain is going to be divided into four different parts. Let's try to see how. So guys, now what happens is, see the first part, which is going to be on the front side, facing the front side, we call this thing as the frontal lobe. This becomes the frontal lobe. Guys, the one which is going to be facing the top side, okay, the one which is facing the top side, guys, that is called as the parietal lobe. So this one, okay, which is facing the top, this is going to be parietal lobe. Okay. Now, see guys, but in between we have this sulcus which is present, right? So what is this sulcus? This sulcus is a big sulcus. So we call this thing as central sulcus. This is known as the central sulcus. Okay. Now we come to the back side, guys. Okay. So the back side, we are going to have another lobe. See this lobe. Now this lobe is responsible for your vision. Guys, this lobe, this is known as occipital lobe. Okay, and now guys, this sulcus is going to differentiate, or it is going to divide your parietal lobe from the occipital lobe, right? So what do we call this sulcus? We call it as the parieto-occipital sulcus. Okay, this becomes parieto-occipital sulcus. And now guys, we have this region, the side region. Okay, the side region of the brain. What is this called? This is called as the temporal lobe. Okay, this is known as the temporal lobe, guys, which is going to be exactly at the sides. So if I have to tell you now, guys, see just behind your eye socket, okay, on either side, you will see there is this khadda kind of a thing, guys. Exactly, somewhat that region is nothing but your temporal region. Okay, so this is going to be a temporal lobe. Okay, and then what is this sulcus then? Like, what do we call this thing? This is nothing but your lateral sulcus. Lateral sulcus. So because of these sulci, guys, especially, you're going to see that the brain is going to be divided into few different parts. Okay, so now let me just show you, if to give you an idea of how things really are going to be. Okay, so see guys, if you see, the first one, the one which is going to be on the top, this is going to be the frontal lobe. Okay, now after the frontal lobe, guys, we are going to have, see, this sulcus. This is going to be your central sulcus, guys. Okay, this is the central sulcus. Then we have the parietal lobe, and then we are going to have, see, one out over here. See this. See, this is the lateral sulcus. Okay, and now just like that, we have one more out over here at the back. So see this one. This is going to be your parieto-occipital sulcus, and this is how your entire brain is going to be like. Guys, how are you going to remember the different ones? Again, there's a possibility that you are going to forget it. Okay, guys, you just have to go in sequence. How? Let's try to see. You are just going to remember this as flower pot. So F, P, O, and T. So you go this way, flower pot, F pot, guys. Okay, so if you remember it in this fashion, guys, you will never forget which lobe is which lobe. Okay, just remember it as F pot. Okay, everybody all right with this thing, guys? Sure. Okay, there is one more picture which I had downloaded for you guys. If you want, I'll just show you. See, with the sulci. Okay, so the central sulcus, the parieto-occipital sulcus, and the lateral sulcus. Here they have just said it is lateral fissure, but fissure or sulcus means the same thing. That way. Okay, everybody all right with this thing? So the first side part is fine, right, everyone? Yes, yes, yes. Similar to your skull, yes. Okay, but now guys, let's try to see. Okay, so this is first we are talking about only the upper, like an external kind of thing. Now, guys, what happens? Let's try to go in the top view of the brain. Okay, so we're looking at it from the top. Let's say you are standing on top of somebody's head and you're looking at the brain from the top. How will you see? Guys, you are going to see that, oh, there are going to be two parts of the brain, something like this. Okay, so this is the left hemisphere, this is the right hemisphere. Now, naturally, guys, you won't be able to see this as separate. Let's imagine you have held both the this thing with your hand. One thing you're slightly shifting it a little this side, another one you're slightly shifting it on the other side. And then if you do this thing, guys, like if you slightly shift it a bit, inside, guys, you are going to see that there is a narrow bridge of white fibers. This is a narrow bridge of white fibers. So we will see, like, what is this exactly, what is going to happen and all. So we will see this thing. Okay. And plus now, normally you're going to have all these things which are present like this. The gyri and sulci, they are always going to be there. So something of this sort. Okay. Now, guys, what happens? Let's try to see. Okay. Once again, remember, guys, when will you see this middle portion? When you slightly pull this thing a little to the outside. Okay. Under normal circumstances, you won't see it. Under normal circumstances, you're just going to see it like this. So we have this one part of the brain, and the other part of the brain is going to be hugging it like this. This is how you will see it. Okay, but now what is this? Okay, so guys, what happens is, so these are called as the cerebral hemispheres. Okay, so the two hemispheres. So we have this one is on the right, this one is on the left, but then we call it as cerebral hemispheres. Okay, now guys, these cerebral hemispheres, they are going to be interconnected to one another with this narrow bridge of your white fibers. Now, what is this narrow bridge of white fibers called, guys? This is known as your corpus callosum. This is called as corpus callosum. Okay, guys, very, very important thing always asked in your NEET exams. What is corpus callosum? Okay, what does it connect? Okay, and now, guys, when we talk about this, what is this going to do? It just holds, or if we can say just that it connects the two hemispheres of the cerebrum. Okay, fine. Okay, but now, guys, there's one more thing I want to tell you. See, here, if I look at it, this is going to be a long fissure kind of a thing. This fissure or this line, which is going to be present out over there, guys, we call this thing as median longitudinal fissure. Median longitudinal fissure, okay, which is like a very, very huge fissure present. Now, you may say, sir, okay, fine, you're saying that, oh, the corpus callosum is present. But where exactly is corpus callosum present? How is it going to be present? Okay, let's try to see this thing. So now let me just put down a few pictures for you. So see, guys, if you look at the brain, okay, so when we take a section of the brain, you're going to see it this way. Guys, this portion, whatever we are seeing, this is nothing but your corpus callosum, which is going to hold the two parts of the brain together. Okay, and now when this is happening, guys, what else is it going to do? It is going to help in the transfer of impulses from the left to the right cerebral hemisphere. That is what it's going to do, guys. Okay, so this is how it will appear. Now, some of you may still feel that, oh, where exactly? But now we can't see it. So in normal cases, guys, and I told you, normal circumstances, you won't be able to see it. You'll have to move this thing apart. Okay, you have to move the two parts of the brain. Okay, so now if you look at this angle, guys, see, this is going to be hidden in your plain sight because it is going to be inside, deep inside. Okay, so this is your corpus callosum. But now in this angle, guys, see this angle, it is very, very evident. So you have your cerebral hemisphere one, you have the second cerebral hemisphere, and see in between it is going to be joined together by that narrow bridge of your white fibers, corpus callosum. Okay, I hope this has cleared where the exact location is. Right? Everybody okay? Where exactly is the median fissure? This line, this khadda, it is going to run like this. From here, it is going to be present till here. That is called as your median longitudinal fissure. Okay, everybody fine with this thing? Okay, anybody who has doubts, just once again, just go through this. Okay. Wait 1 minute, something has gone wrong. Okay, everyone all right? Fine? No issues, guys? Okay, chalo. So now let's try to move ahead. Okay, but now, guys, when we talk about the brain, inside the brain, guys, you are going to have some empty spaces. Okay, what is these empty spaces? Guys, these empty spaces. Yes, 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 right. Okay, these empty spaces, guys, we call them as ventricles. And these ventricles, they are filled with your CSF. Okay, so that is how it is going to be. So where are these going to be present? Let's try to see. Okay. So once again, guys, we have our brain, something like this. Okay, so something of this sort. Okay, now what is going to happen, guys? Let's try to see. Okay, so you are going to see some empty spaces present inside the brain, which are going to be connected to one another. Okay, so let's say the first one, guys. The first one is somewhere right out over here. Okay, now remember, guys, this is going to be this thing, like an empty space. So this is going to be one empty space, guys, like this, and the other one, guys, it is going to be behind this. Okay, so you will see that there are these two empty spaces in both the cerebral hemispheres, one in each. Now, what are these ones called, guys? What are these called? Okay, so remember, this is the first one, and on the back side, it is the second one. These ventricles, guys, we call them as lateral ventricles. Okay, these are known as your lateral ventricles. Okay, fine. But now you are going to see that after we have this lateral ventricle, guys, you are going to see that there is a small connection. Okay, this connection comes from both the lateral hemispheres, and then it is going to join something, and then guys, you're going to have the third ventricle out over here, the third empty space. Okay, so somewhere out over here. Okay, so this is our third ventricle. Okay, and then guys, once again, you are going to have one more. Okay, one more, you are going to see this thing like a duct kind of thing, and then we are going to have the fourth ventricle. Okay, so guys, this is how it is going to be. And now, just where we have this thing, the fourth ventricle, guys, you are going to see we are going to have ample amounts of your ependymal cells. Okay, fine. So guys, this is how it is going to be like. Okay, but now I want you to see it from, so this is from the lateral sides, guys. I want you to see it from the top view also. Okay, so let's try to see how is it going to appear. The same thing in your top view, guys. Okay, so now I told you guys we are going to have the first two lateral ventricles, right? So let's imagine we have the lateral ventricle out over here. Okay, so now these two things, guys, I told you they are going to be like communicating with one another. So they are going to have their own ducts. Okay, and these ducts they are going to ultimately meet with the third one right in the center. So let me just once again say one, two. This, guys, the blue one is the third one. Fourth one you cannot see from this angle at all. Okay, but now the question is, see, we are having these two ducks like thing, okay, which are like carrying the CSF or this thing from the parts of the ventricles, basically the ventricles to the third, like this. So now what is this arm called? Like this connection which is taking place out over here. What is this? This is known as foramen of Monro. Okay, fine. So this is foramen of Monroe. Guys, first I want you to understand this thing. Then I will show you some pictures which I have downloaded. That will give you a better idea. But first, have a look at this thing, guys. Okay, so now let me just flash a picture out over here so that you can have a look at this thing. Okay, so see guys, if you look at this, once again, the same situation out over here. See, now look at this thing, guys. Okay, so you are going to see that we have these as your lateral ventricles. Okay, then we have the third ventricle. Okay, which is here right in the center they have showing. And then we have the fourth ventricle, which is going to be here like this. Okay, so anyways, and then all of them, they are going to be connected to one another and they are going to be performing their duties. This is how it is going to look like. Okay, let me just show you one more picture that should help you out. Okay, so let me just see if I can paste. Ah, okay, so see guys, so once again, so you have this first ventricle, you have the second ventricle, both of them, they are going to be connected together by the foramen of Monro. Then it is going to come, it is going to meet with the third ventricle, which is out over here. Okay, after the third ventricle, now it is ultimately going to go to your fourth ventricle. Yes. Sorry. Okay. So see guys, and once again from the sides also, see this is how it is going to occur. So one, we have two, then we have three, the third ventricle, and then we have the fourth ventricle, which is out over here, like this. So guys, this is how the structure of the brain is going to look like, guys. Okay, and once again, if anybody wishes to see what is this, see this is going to be your the median longitudinal fissure, which is going to hold the two cerebral hemispheres out over here. And see this small reddish dot, you can see that is nothing but your corpus callosum. Okay, so, sir, where is the foramen of Monroe in this thing? So here, this is, I'll have to just zoom into this thing. Let me just show you. See, this region, this is nothing but your foramen of Monroe. Okay, fine. So anybody else wishes to ask anything? Guys, once again, this is very, very important. You need to know this thing. Teachers will ask you this part. Okay, and especially for drawing, this is a hot question. Okay, chalo. So if everybody has understood this thing, this entire structure of the brain, let's try to move on to the next part. Okay, now guys, slowly, we are moving into the main chapter. Okay, and now slowly, things are going to become a little bit more complicated. Okay, now the next thing, guys, we're going to talk about is how are we going to study your brain, or what is the brain going to be divided into? Okay, so guys, if we look at the brain is divided into three major parts. Okay, so first thing, guys, we are going to have the forebrain. Now, whatever that is present on the front side of the brain, we call this thing as the forebrain. Okay, second one, we have the midbrain. Everything that is present in the middle part. Okay, and the one which is going to be present at the back, this is going to be known as your hindbrain. Okay, but now, guys, we have some other names for this thing also. Okay, so what do we call this forebrain? Forebrain, this is also known as prosencephalon. Okay, if we talk about the midbrain, we have mesencephalon. Okay, mesencephalon. And the third one, we have your hindbrain. Hindbrain, guys, we will call this thing as a rhombencephalon. Okay, so guys, these are the three different names. Okay, but now we need to see what are these really going to have inside of them. So what are the contents out over here? Okay, chalo. So let's try to see what are the contents. Okay, so now when we talk about the forebrain, guys, forebrain is further divided into your three major parts. Okay, so the first one we are going to have is olfactory lobe. Okay, so we have olfactory lobe. Now, guys, this olfactory lobe, it comes with the olfactory bulb also and olfactory tract as well. Slowly, you will understand. Okay, what is that exactly? The next thing we have to go into this only. So I will just mention it contains. Okay, okay. So we have the olfactory bulb, and the second one is olfactory duct. Okay, so first is going to be your olfactory lobe. Okay, fine. So the next thing. Okay, now the second part after this thing is the olfactory lobe. We are going to have the cerebrum. Now, guys, cerebrum, remember this is also known as telencephalon. Okay, so this becomes telencephalon. Okay, and finally, guys, after this, we are going to have diencephalon. Okay, now as the name suggests, guys, diencephalon, di meaning what? Two. So this diencephalon, it consists of two things out over there. So okay, so basically it says it is going to be two things, but I will show you three different things present out over there in that region. So first one, guys, it is going to be your epithalamus. Okay, epithalamus. So basically in your brain, there is going to be a brain box kind of a thing. So you will see it something of this sort. Okay, inside your brain. Okay, so we have this epithalamus. So we are going to be talking about the top. We have hypothalamus. This is going to be the bottom. And in between, okay, in between, we have the thalami or the thalamus, which is going to form the lateral walls. Okay, okay. So we are going to have epithalamus, then we are going to have thalamus and hypothalamus. Okay, fine. So this is, guys, what we need to know about your forebrain. This is how it is going to appear. And guys, you need to remember this thing properly. Okay, just have a look at this. Okay, everybody all right, guys? Everybody is fine? Okay, chalo. But now let's try to move into your midbrain. Okay. So guys, when we talk about the midbrain is actually divided into your two parts. Okay, and what are the two parts, guys? We have crura cerebri and corpora quadrigemina. Okay. Forebrain comes under the frontal lobe, yes. Okay, so whatever is present in the front portion of the brain, that is nothing but your forebrain. Okay, this is just a way of classifying it. Okay, so guys, we have the midbrain. Midbrain contains your crura cerebri and corpora quadrigemina. When time comes, guys, we will talk about this thing. Okay, we don't have to do this thing in detail though. Okay, but just a little bit of information about what is their job, how are they going to perform, what is the function. That's it. Okay, but now we go on to the backside, guys, and backside we are going to have the rhombencephalon. Okay, but now what is this going to have? Guys, rhombencephalon, meaning this is also known as the backside of the brain. Okay, so now we are going to see. Yes, 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 right. Okay, so this is going to be your pons varolii, first one. Okay, you are going to have pons varolii. Second one, guys, we have medulla oblongata. Okay, and the third one, guys, we are going to have your cerebellum. Okay, this way. Now, guys, out of this, when we talk about only the pons varioli, the pons varioli and the medulla oblongata, guys, then we can also use the term brain stem. Okay, because this is going to produce that stem which is going to come out from the brain, guys. Okay, so at the end, so that is why we call it as brain stem. Okay, so guys, first of all, this is that entire chart which you need to know before we move ahead into anything, guys. Just have a look if you're okay with this thing. Okay, now the next thing that we have to do is, guys, we have to see each and every part of the brain. What is it responsible for? What is it doing? How is it bringing about that job? So on and so forth, guys. Okay, but that is what we are actually going to look at. Okay, so one second, guys. What let's do one thing, guys. Before we move ahead into the details and depths of all of these, let's try to take a little break out over here. Okay, and then we can join in again. Okay, so once again, guys. Uh, okay, so it 5 to 8 minutes break, then we'll once again join in, guys. Okay, guys, chalo. So once again, let's get back. Okay, so now guys, what are we going to do now? We have to see all of these parts in detail. Okay, so everything, like your forebrain, your midbrain, your hindbrain, each of these is going to be in detail for us, guys. Okay, so once again, let's try to see, starting off with the forebrain. So guys, now we are into your forebrain, and in your forebrain, now we are going to look into the first part, that is going to be your olfactory lobe. Okay, so let's try to see how is this olfactory lobe really going to be, guys. Okay, so always understand this olfactory lobe, guys. It can be seen only and only in the ventral view. Ventral view means what? So let's imagine, guys. So if you have your face like this, okay, so so let's say this is your face, this is your mouth. Let's imagine this is your brain, guys. Where is this thing going to be present? This is going to be present somewhere on this side, guys. Okay, so this region. So somewhere out over here. So something like this. Okay, so you cannot see it from the front view because it is underneath. So you cannot look at it this way. So in order to look at this, where are you going to go? You have to look at it in this manner, guys. So from the bottom. So we say you are going to see this forebrain, olfactory lobe. This is visible only and only. Okay, only visible in the ventral view. Okay, so but now how is it going to appear? Now when you're looking at from the bottom, guys, you are going to see that, oh, it is going to have something of this part. Okay, so this is the background part, basically the brain part. Okay, but then what are you going to see? So inside this, you are going to see that, oh, there are these bulb like structures. Okay, and these bulb like structures, what are these are nothing but your olfactory bulbs. See, I have told you, what is this olfactory lobe going to contain? It is going to contain your olfactory bulbs, and the second thing it is going to contain is your olfactory tracts. Okay, so olfactory bulb and olfactory tracts, guys, like this thing. Okay, and this olfactory tract is then going to take it to your this thing, to the brain, basically. Okay, so let's try to see how this is going to be. So this is olfactory tract. Okay, so this is how it is generally going to appear, guys. Okay, now when we say how does it really appear, okay, we are going to say that, when we look at this thing, you just see there are two ovoid bodies, and these two ovoid bodies, they are attached to their olfactory tracts. That is how it is going to appear, guys. Okay, and from the backside, see, guys, this I said, see, this is going to be the back thing, right? The back thing which is going to be present at the backside, because this is going to form the major part. Now what is actually present? What is this part, guys? This is nothing but your cerebrum. Okay, so here this is the cerebrum, guys. So we say this is going to be dorsally covered by cerebrum. Okay, fine. Now, I told you guys, see, we are going to have these olfactory tracts. Where are they going to go, guys? They are going to go to the brain. But which part of the brain? So always remember, these olfactory tracts, they are now going to go to the temporal lobe, because all the senses for your smelling are going to be present in the temporal lobe, guys. Because this is going to contain the sense of smell. Okay, so first thing, is everybody okay with how the arrangement is, guys? Okay, if everybody is okay, then let me just show you how this will appear. Okay, so guys, see, once again, I have taken this picture. Now just see, where are we seeing this thing? See, I told you, I cannot see it from the front view. In order to see this thing properly, I have to look at it from the bottom. So this is the ventral view. Okay, So something like this. Okay, now where exactly? See, I told you we are going to have the olfactory bulb and the olfactory tract. So where is it going to be present? See guys, so if you look at this, see, this is the olfactory bulb and this is the olfactory tract. Okay, and now if you remember guys, in your nose, in your nasal chamber, we had said there is olfactory nerve. So from, see, the olfactory bulb is nothing but it is going to give rise to your olfactory nerve. Yes, Devang, right. The region that I had shaded, it is your cerebrum because you are looking at it from the bottom side. So when you look at it from this side, whatever is at the back, that is nothing but your cerebrum. Okay, so now guys, see, this is how your olfactory nerves are going to be like. You have the olfactory bulb. The olfactory bulb is going to give rise to olfactory tract, and olfactory tract, where is it going to end guys? This is going to end directly into the temporal lobe. That's it. Okay, so is everyone getting this thing? Okay, if you're not getting this thing, then let me just show you one more image. I have got one more image for you guys. So this is directly your ventral view as we want it. Okay. Sorry. Huh. So see guys, so once again, we said we are going to have the olfactory bulbs. So see, ये color दिख नहीं रहा है. Okay. Yeah. So see guys, see, this is actually your olfactory bulbs. Okay, these are your olfactory bulbs. And these olfactory bulbs, see, they are going to produce the olfactory tracts that way. But where is it going to appear? See, this is going to appear only in the ventral view, guys. When you're looking at it from the bottom side, then only this is going to be visible. Okay. And like I said, see, background, see, when you look at it from this side, what is going to be present at the back? See, this is nothing but your cerebrum. So you'll have the cerebrum present on the back side. Okay, I hope everybody is okay with this thing, guys. Just see if anybody has any doubts regarding this olfactory lobe. Okay, really, really simple. You don't have to do much about this thing. Okay, everybody all right? Guys, quickly tell me yes or no. Otherwise, if you want some more information, then I can give it to you, or else we can move ahead. Okay, sure. Let's try to move ahead then. Okay, now, so see, the first part is done. See, what did we say? Okay, we have the olfactory lobes. Then we have the cerebrum. Then we have the hmm, right, right. Okay, so then we have the diencephalon. Okay, so now the second part we're going to talk about is your cerebrum. Okay, and guys, once again, cerebrum, this is nothing but the largest part of the brain, guys. Okay, so the second thing we have cerebrum. Okay, so now when we talk about cerebrum, guys, what is cerebrum? Like I said, this is going to be the largest part of the brain. And now if you're saying, oh, this is the largest part of the brain, how much is it really going to account for? This is going to account for 80 to 85% of the total brain. Okay. But now, guys, once again, so now what are we going to see? We are going to see that this cerebrum, how is it going to be? It is going to be divided into your two hemispheres. Okay. So what are these hemispheres called? Like I had already said this thing, these are your two cerebral hemispheres. So we have the right and the left cerebral hemispheres. Okay. But now, guys, how are these two going to be separated from one another? Okay, so these two, they are going to be separated by your median longitudinal fissure. Like I said, guys, the median longitudinal fissure, this is the largest fissure. It is the largest commissure we see, basically. I'll come to that. Okay, so the median longitudinal fissure. Okay, and always remember, this is the longest commissure, longest, or you can say this is the largest commissure. Now, guys, what is commissure? Commissure means this is a place where two parts meet. Okay, so two parts meet, two parts attach. Okay, this is the longest commissure. Once again, guys, whatever I have mentioned, let's try to put it down. So I'm saying that this is the brain is going to be divided into your two parts. So it is going to be your two cerebral hemispheres. Okay, so once again, like this. Okay, in between this thing, so we have this longitudinal fissure. So this entire thing in between, this is nothing but your median longitudinal fissure. Okay, fine. Chalo. But now, even if, okay, even if they are going to be divided into two parts, guys, what have we always said? No matter what, they are always going to be held together with the help of corpus callosum. Okay, so the third thing, guys, this is nothing but our corpus callosum. And guys, what is the speciality of corpus callosum? This is nothing but this is a narrow band. Okay, narrow or a little thicker band of your nerve fibers. Okay, so always remember the two cerebral hemispheres are held together, holds the two cerebral hemispheres. Okay, holds the two cerebral hemispheres. And the second thing, guys, this is nothing but a transverse. Okay, or it is, we say, a thick band kind of thing. So thick band. Okay, thick band of your transverse nerve fibers. Okay, and guys, when we say nerve fiber, what do I mean by this? Nerve fiber? Nerve fiber is nothing but your axon. Okay, so guys, this is first thing that we need to know. Okay, so we have already talked about this thing, so I don't think so anybody should have a problem. Okay, next part. Okay, but now let's see something more, guys. Okay, so we said, guys, each hemisphere out over here is going to contain a ventricle inside of it, right? So the next thing, each hemisphere has one ventricle. Okay, but now what is this ventricle called? We call this thing as your lateral ventricles. Okay, but now what is this lateral ventricle filled with? As I said, this is going to be filled with your CSF. Okay, now let's try to see this thing. Okay, so guys, let's imagine this is your brain. Okay, something like this. So once again, guys, what are we saying? We are going to have the entire, the first ventricle, the lateral ventricles, it is going to be something of this sort. Okay, one on this side and the other one is going to be on the other side. So this way. And both of them, they are going to be connected to one another. Okay, so this is what we are seeing, right? Now, this top portion, the top portion. Okay, so let me just do one more thing, guys. Okay, so let me just zoom in into this thing a bit, and let me just show you only the ventricle part. Okay, so if you just see the only ventricle part, guys, what you need to remember is the top portion of the ventricle, this thing, this is known as your pallium. The top portion of your ventricle, guys, this is also known as pallium. That's it. Okay, fine. But now, okay, so this is second thing, guys. Okay, so first, guys, the cerebrum is divided into your two cerebral hemispheres. So we have the left and the right, but even if they're divided into two cerebral hemispheres, they're still going to be attached to one another with the help of your corpus callosum. Okay, next thing, each hemisphere is going to have your one ventricle, and inside the ventricle, basically, you are going to see CSF. Top portion of this thing, it is going to be your pallium. Okay. Next point. Okay, the next thing is, guys, when we talk about your cerebrum, always remember your cerebrum is not smooth. It is thrown into your folds. So what are those folds called? Let's try to see. Okay, so when we talk about cerebrum, the cerebrum, this is not smooth at all. Okay, so see guys, wherever we have drawn, see, I have always shown these curves, 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 curves. It is never going to be like this, like this. No. Okay. Sorry. Okay, the cerebrum is not smooth, but then it is going to be thrown into folds. Okay, and now what are these folds called, guys? These folds, you can either call them as grooves and ridges. Okay, these are going to be known as your grooves or ridges, where grooves, basically we can also say that groove means your sulci. Okay, so singular is sulcus, plural is sulci. Okay, and ridges, guys, so these are known as, basically, it is going to appear as, a bumper kind of a thing. Okay, so this is going to be nothing, a ridge is nothing but it is your gyrus or gyri. Okay, so now once again, let's try to see how is it going to really appear in a diagram. So when we talk about the brain part, guys, the brain is going to be something like this. Okay, so these are nothing but the folds. Okay, so what are these folds? Let's try to see. Okay, so these are nothing but, see, they are going to be these bumpy things. So I told you these bumpy things, these are going to be speed breakers. Speed breaker meaning this is going to be your gyri. Okay, so guys, if you want, I will just write down. See, this is going to be a ridge. This is going to be your valley. So grooves and ridges. Okay, so see, this is how it is going to be. So we have grooves and we have ridges. Okay, everybody fine with this thing? Okay, next thing, guys. Okay, now next thing, when we talk about the brain, guys, okay, always remember, why do we have these gyri and sulci? Now, what is the reason behind this? The reason is this gyri and sulci, basically both of them, okay, they help to increase the surface area of the brain. So gyrus, basically, I can just write down this as gyri. Okay. So guys, when we talk about the gyri and sulci, shit, what is happening? Okay, so when we had talked about this Gyre and Sarkai, guys, what are they going to do? See, I want you to understand, guys. See, I told you, see, let's imagine this is one row. Okay, let's say it has this entire length. Okay, so let's say this is 5 meters. Okay, let's imagine. Okay, now I am going to take one more row. Okay, but now this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to just send it into large number of folds like this. Okay, and now I stop out over here itself. Okay, where we 5 meter this thing stops, it is going to stop out over there. Now you only tell me, guys, who of them is going to really have a large surface area? This 5 meter thing or this thing? Guys, in fact, if you look at this, this is going to be also somewhere around 10 meters, right? So what happens? These folds, guys, these folds help to increase the surface area. And that is why we will always go with the Gyre and Sulci. So the Gyre and Sulci, they increase the surface area. Okay. And now as it increases the surface area, guys, this is going to have a direct intelligence onto your intelligence. So if they are more, the Gyre and Sulci is more, you are going to be more intelligent. Okay, so this is the next thing. Okay, fine. But now the next part, guys. Okay, so we have the brain. The brain is going to be divided into your two parts. Okay, so see, we had already said, right hemisphere, left hemisphere. No, not like that. Are we going to be talking about your lobes out over here? No, we are not talking about the lobes also. Now, what are we going to say? We are going to say that the brain is divided into two parts. How come? So we are going to have the outer part. Okay, so this outer part of this brain, guys, what are you going to call this thing? Can anybody try? Because this is going to be on the outer side. This is going to be your cerebral cortex. Okay, this is our cerebral cortex. And now whatever that is going to be present right in the center, guys, out over here, what is that going to be? That is going to be your cerebral medulla. So we are going to have cortex and we are going to have medulla. Always remember, you have to mention in detail cerebral cortex, cerebral medulla. Don't just write cortex or medulla. It doesn't make sense then. Okay, but now guys, when we talk about this cerebral cortex, you will always see that this cerebral cortex, it appears to be grayish kind of a thing. Okay, and why is that? Because when we talk about cerebral cortex, all that cerebral cortex is going to show us is shows the cytons. Okay, and because because the cytons are present out over here, guys, what is this going to give it? It is going to give it a grayish, grayish or blackish tinge, and that is why what do we call this thing? We call this thing as gray matter. Sorry, guys. Okay, so this is the one which is going to show us the gray matter. Okay, fine. Chalo. But now let's try to see on the female side, on the inner side, the cerebral medulla. Now, what is this going to show you? This is going to show you, guys, this is going to have only and only the axons, like this, something of that sort. Okay, so this is the one which shows only your axons. And basically, when we have these axons, what is this, guys? This is nothing but it is going to appear whitish. So we say we are going to have the white matter. So what do you always need to remember, guys? In your brain, the gray matter is on the outer side. And when we talk about the white matter is going to be on the inner side of the brain. Okay, so just have a look, guys. Just see everybody okay with this point. It is simple. So I don't think so anybody should have trouble. The folds, I could not get you. Yes, yeah, can you tell me? Oh, no, no, sorry, sorry. You had answered for the other thing. Yes, I think I got it. I got it. Okay, so now, guys, this is what we actually need to know about the brains. Okay, there are like three, four points actually what you need to remember. First thing, when we talk about the brain, guys, okay, the brain is divided into how many parts? It is going to be divided into two parts. Okay, second thing, how are these two parts going to be joined together? Then the third thing is the entire brain is thrown into your gyri and sulci. Okay, that is the third thing. And the last thing that they're going to ask you, that where is the cerebral cortex, where is the cerebral medulla. Okay, so something on these lines the questions will be asked. Okay, so just see if everybody is okay with this thing. If anybody wants to have white matter, it is going to be present on the inner side, inside. Okay, chalo, take care. Okay, and once again, guys, my suggestion to you is, see, in your textbook this has been given in the worst possible manner. Okay, so I want you to that is why I want you to go through your textbook to see how they have portrayed it, all these parts. Okay, so just make a note of that. Okay, you have to go through the textbook. Okay, sorry. Okay, but now, guys, the next thing is we need to see that, okay, so we have the brain, and the brain is going to show you different parts. But where is which sense located? We need to see that. Okay, I'm just seeing if I can. Okay, chalo, I can use this one. Okay, so now what are we going to see is, guys, we are going to see that we have said that, the cerebrum is responsible for carrying out various activities, right? But where are these activities really going to be located? That we need to find out. Okay, chalo. So let's try to start off with your this thing, the temporal lobe. Okay, guys, very, very, very important. Okay, and please, everybody, just pay attention right now. Okay, so first thing is, guys, you're going to start from here itself. You're going to have large number of groups of cells. Okay, and these are, what is this responsible for, guys? This entire thing is responsible for hearing, taste. Okay, so we have hearing, taste, then we have smell. Okay, so all of this is going to be first located out over here. Okay, now let's say we go a little bit more ahead. Okay, so from here we are reaching somewhere out in this region. In this region, guys, we are going to have another important thing, which is known as Broca's area. Okay, now this Broca's area, what is this responsible for? This is responsible for motor speech. Okay, so motor speech means what, guys? Whenever you are, like, thinking about, saying something. Okay, see, your lips should also coordinate. Your lips should only move when the impulse has come from the brain. Okay, and this will only move when like you have decided on saying something, or let's say you are like you are planning to say something. In that case, guys, how your the lips are going to move, how they are going to interact with one another, how they are going to open up, all that thing is going to be determined by this Broca's area. Okay, and that is why we say this is going to be motor speech. So I will just say that this is the one which helps to move your lips, tongue, and vocal cords. Okay, fine. So that is Broca's area. Okay, keep this thing in mind, guys. Afterwards, we have another region, okay, which is similar to this thing. We will talk about this. Yeah, right, Dema. Okay, but that is a once again genetic disorder. Okay, now, guys, as we move out over here, okay, now we are going to go into the parietal, or the parietal lobe, basically. Okay, now what is this area, guys? This area, we see this is somatosensory area. Okay, so somatosensory area, guys, always remember this is going to be anterior motor. Now, see, this is actually divided into two parts. If you look at it, this entire region is actually going to be divided into two parts. So, what are we going to see? The anterior part of this thing. Okay, the anterior part of this is actually motor, and the posterior part is sensory. Okay, so if you look at it, actually, guys, you will see that this is divided into two like this, that way. So that is why, anterior, the anterior is motor, the posterior is sensory. Okay, sure. But now let's move a little ahead. A little ahead from that, guys, we are going to see your vernix area. So when I talk about vernix area, guys, whenever you decide that, oh, now I am going to say it this way, or this is what I will be saying, or I am preparing myself for fighting, guys, at that time this vernix area is like working continuously. Okay, so vernix area, guys, this is going to be sensory speech. Sensory speech meaning this is the one which is going to help you realize that, oh, you think you can say something like this, that. Okay, so this is going to be sensory speech. Okay, fine. Okay, and then, guys, finally we are going to go into your occipital lobe. And in this occipital lobe, guys, now this is the place where you are going to have all your vision. So, guys, this thing is ultimately going to give us vision. Okay, so now once again, let me just show you guys this thing. Okay, so that entire thing is actually looking a little cramped up, but that is why I've just, okay, one minute, I can do one more thing. These are your different areas, guys. Okay, so first, right at the start, in the temporal lobe, we are going to have hearing, we are going to have taste, we are going to have smell. Moving a little further, we are going to have the Broca's area. The Broca's area, always remember, this is motor speech, meaning whenever you want to say something, okay, what is going to happen? The lips are going to move in accordance to this thing. So that is your Broca's area. Okay, we go a little to the top. Right out over here we are going to have the somatosensory area. Okay, now in this case, the somatosensory area, the anterior portion, basically it is two part. The first part out over here, guys, this is your anterior motor, meaning it sends all the motor responses, and the back side it is going to be sensory. Okay, so that way. And then we come down a little bit. So now we are going to have the vernix area. The vernix area, guys, once again, this is in combination with the other one. So basically this is going to be your sensory speech. It gives you the ability to speak that way. And then lastly, we are going to have the occipital lobe. In occipital lobe, we are going to have the widget part. Okay, so just let's have a look at this, guys. Just see if you're okay. Okay. Yeah. I'm reading your readouts. Okay, but I'm clearing it out over here. So that is why I once again did this thing. Somatosensory area. Now, how are you going to know somatosensory area? Somato meaning it is body. This is the one which senses their body. So in this, basically the first one is anterior motor. So that is for moving your body. And when we talk about posterior sensory, that is for the sensation coming to the body. So maybe your skin, maybe arms, limbs, maybe your back. Okay, so that is for your posterior sensory part. Now, in this thing, how are you going to see? So basically, when we look at the parietal lobe, okay, everything that is going to be in the parietal lobe, right out over here, okay, behind the central sulcus, guys, immediately after some time, you will see that this is the parietal lobe, and this is going to be your somatosensory area, guys. That way. So that is how you will differentiate the location. Okay, and now if you look at the vernix area, guys, vernix area, they will always show a small group of cells which are going to be a little below. They're not going to be throughout that entire thing, the parietal lobe. Oh, they are present out over here also, then they are present out over here. No, how will it be? You are going to see the parietal lobe. It is going to be like this. Let's imagine. So vernix area, they will show it a little away like this. So this is how you will differentiate. Okay, all right, fine. But now the next thing, guys, the next thing we have to say is we have to say what are the functions of your cerebrum. Okay, now these are some of the things that the cerebrum is capable of doing. But now let's try to see what are the functions. Okay, very simple, guys. Okay, so if we look at the functions, okay, so what do we have? Okay, so we are going to have that the cerebrum, it is the one who is responsible for storing your memory. Okay, next one we have reasoning. Okay, fine. Then we have planning. Okay, fine. Then we have invention. Okay, then next one we are going to have thinking. Willpower. Okay, so basically when we talk about willpower, what is it? Like, let's say you have decided that, okay, you are not going to have any kind of food. Okay, let's say, after 10 o'clock. Okay, let's imagine. And now at 10 o'clock or after 10 o'clock, one of your family members, they give you ice cream, and then you're tempted to have it. But it's still, if you say no, then that is called as your willpower. Okay. Next one, we have intelligence. Okay, fine. And last one, guys, we have consciousness. Now, what do we mean by consciousness? Consciousness means it is the feeling that you are alive. That feeling is called as consciousness. Okay, guys, now how are you going to remember all these functions? Now, see, these are some functions. Okay, after this, you can keep on adding the sensory functions as well. Okay, but then how do you remember this thing? You are going to remember this as Mr. Pitwicks. Okay, there's one more question. Sir, also, sir, if some way too old fellow comes back home after being on ventilation, is also, what is written? Is also will power, right? Is also willpower, right? If so, 1 minute, let me just read it properly. Yeah. Also, sir, if some way too old fellow comes back home after being on ventilator, is also willpower, right? Acha, okay. So is it also because of willpower? That is what you're saying? Yes. Okay, so it can be because of willpower also, because the person has decided that no, this is not the right time to die. Maybe, I have to live on. I have to fight for my life. Then yes, once again, that is going to be willpower. That is right. Okay, fine. No. The framing of the sentence was not at all proper. So I was not able to understand what you're trying to say exactly. Anyways, so guys, just remember this as Mr. Pitwicks, okay, and you'll be able to remember all these functions. Okay, so Mr. Pitwicks, basically M, memory, R, reasoning, P, planning, I, invention or invent, T, thinking, W, willpower, I, intelligence, and C, consciousness. Okay, so once again, guys, this is how it is going to appear. Okay, now let me just show you guys once again. Now, whatever I have shown you, how these pictures are like, whatever I have drawn and shown it to you. Now, let me just show it to you in the diagrammatic form. Okay, so see, once again, we have temporal lobe, hearing, taste, smell. Okay, speech. Now, see, guys, here there is this speech. Now, what is this? This is nothing but this is going to be your Broca's area. Okay, then once again we have motor. Okay, motor. So see, anterior motor. So I told you right out over here, somewhere in the parietal region, right out over here, the anterior portion is motor and the posterior portion is sensory. So that way. Okay, then we come back. Then here in this thing, body awareness, language, reading, that is a different thing. And we come back into the occipital lobe, which is going to be your vision. At the same time, guys, here we are also going to have your another one. Okay, and that is going to be your the vernix area, that way. So that's it. So something of that sort. Okay, so let me just show you one more picture. Yeah. So if this comes for drawing, then our diagram is good, right? Or we have to be exact. No. You can just draw it in your own ways, guys. There is no necessity that you have to be really artistic or skillful. You can just draw it normally, whatever you feel, that way. Okay. However, location should be somewhat same. So guys, once again, see hearing. Okay. So we have hearing. Then once again, we have the Broca's area. Then we said, see anterior motor, posterior sensory, basically. Then here, guys, we are going to see the central sulcus also out over here, separating the parietal lobes. And then we have the next thing, that is your the occipital lobe. And now here you see auditory no, so they have also missed your the this thing, the vernix area. Okay, anyways, let's try to see one more thing, then we'll move ahead. Okay, so see, once again the same thing but a little different manner. Okay, so I hope everybody is okay with this thing. Okay, chalo. All right, all right, all right. Okay, so guys, with this, we are done with the first part, that is your cerebrum. This was like the biggest part, guys, and there are so many things that we need to understand what is really present or what is really going in this thing. Okay, chalo. Okay, I hope everybody is okay. Then the next thing after this, I was like searching all the internet for this thing. Okay. Okay, so now the next thing, guys, we're going to talk about the diencephalon. Okay, but 1 second, guys, when we talk about diencephalon, okay, I'm going to require some good amount of time. Okay, and just a second, guys, let me just see that. Okay, okay. Okay, what I'll do is we'll start with the diencephalon. Okay, I'll just give you a brief intro of it. Okay, and then after that, when it is time to get into the details, at that time, that we'll take it in the next class that we can do. Okay, chill. So next, let's try to see. Okay, so now, guys, after that, we are going to move into your diencephalon. Okay, diencephalon. Okay, so where is this diencephalon located? Let's try to see how it is going to be like. Okay, okay. So once again, we have our brain, something like this. Okay, but now, guys, see right in the center, what are we going to see? We are going to see that here there is that box-like structure. Okay, now what is this box-like structure, guys? See, you will see first thing out over here, that is your corpus callosum. Okay, which is going to hold the two of the cerebral hemispheres together. So, corpus callosum. Just behind that, meaning just below that, and now we are going to have that box like thing. Okay, and what is going to be present out over here? Let's try to see. So guys, the first thing that we are going to see, okay, that is going to be your epithalamus. Okay, so fine, this is going to be epithalamus. Oh, sorry. Okay, now from this epithalamus, what are we going to see, guys? We are going to see a small gland coming to the top like that. So what is that gland? This is nothing but a your this thing, the pineal gland. This is going to be our pineal gland. Okay, fine. After this, guys, we are going to see two lateral walls. Okay, so see, because if I have to make this thing like a block-like thing, I need to properly package stuff out over here. Okay, so we are going to have two lateral walls out over here, and below that, we are going to have one more thing, the base, like this. Okay, so let's try to see. Okay, so the second thing, guys, okay, the second thing, the lateral walls, we said this is going to be your thalami. Okay, thalami or just thalamus. Okay, plural thalami. Okay, and now after that we are going to have this bottom portion. So bottom portion is what, guys? The bottom portion is hypothalamus. And from the bottom portion, guys, what are you going to see? So from here on the front side, guys, you are going to see that the pituitary is hanging out over there. Right. Okay, so my question is, first, is everybody okay? Have you understood how this diencephalon is really going to be like? Yes. Guys, kindly say yes or no, please. Okay. Okay, okay, okay. ठीक है, ठीक है, ठीक है. All right, all right. Okay, so guys, अच्छा, okay, ठीक है. I will just try to show you in one more angle. Okay, so just imagine this to be like a rectangular box kind of thing. So let's say this is a rectangular box. Okay, so understand it this way, guys. Okay, so the person who has asked me, okay, just see this. We just assume it to be a box like thing. So see, first thing, if you look at this box, okay, if you look at this box, see, I can say this is the top portion, right? What is this top portion? In according to this diagram, this is nothing but epithalamus. Okay, then just like that, we are going to have, okay, on the bottom side, okay, we are going to have this one. This is going to be your hypothalamus because it is the lower side. Okay, and then we are going to have the lateral side. So see, these are the lateral sides. Okay, so bajuwala sides. These lateral sides, these are nothing but your thalami. Thalami, basically 1 + 1, one on this side and one on the other side also. Okay, and then if you want, now I can show you the. Okay, so from the epithalamus, what did I say? We said, here we are going to have the pineal gland. Okay, and on the bottom side, from here, you are going to see your pituitary. That way. I hope this will clear out everything. Okay, now in the reality, guys, see, this is just by means of which we can understand. But in the reality, it is going to be different. So let me just show you that. See, in reality, it is going to be a little different altogether. Hypothalamus, thalamus, epithalamus. Okay, so see, this is how it will really look like, guys. Okay, everybody all right, guys? Sure, no issues. Okay. Okay, okay. So guys, now what we'll do is we'll stop over here for the day. Okay, and when we come back in the next class, guys, once again, don't miss, we are going to do something very, very important. Okay, so we have to talk about your entire midbrain, we have to talk about your hindbrain. Okay, so all that thing is very, very important. After that, we start talking about your this thing. We start talking about your spinal cord. Okay, so all that thing is going to be included. Okay, chalo. So guys, once again, we'll stop over here for the day and I'll see you in the next class. Till then, take care. Bye bye. Bye everybody. Bye bye. Yes, yes. You ask me your question and let others go.
So now the next 10 exams, the timetable for next exams has been come yesterday on the group,
Ha ha.
and in that biotechnology is included.
Yes,
So
right.
yes sir. So actually you gave the notes of biotechnology till the third last chapter. I mean the third last lecture, right?
Okay.
I guess the 7th lecture or something.
Uh-huh.
But the last 2 lectures notes you haven't sent, and only those 2 lectures notes have messed up and all.
Uh-huh.
And like it's a 18-page notes that you've sent, but there are 2 lectures missing in it, last 2 lectures.
Okay, ठीक है.
So
No
can you
issues. I
please
will
send
send
that?
that. Yes. So biotechnology you want, right?
Yes,
Okay,
yeah.
okay, okay. And anything else apart from that?
No, sir.